Hey, Kayak Cliff here. The great folks at Oru Kayak just sent me a 12-foot touring kayak called the Oru Kayak Bay ST. And this is a sit-inside touring kayak, and they sent it to me in exchange for my unbiased reviews and also for using in my traveling kayak trail videos that have become so popular. I've had a chance for about the last 3 weeks to try this out. I'm giving my unbiased review. I've tried it out in the last 3 weeks in Pennsylvania, in Corpus Christi, Texas, and here at home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, how did I try it out in those other areas? Well, I put it on a plane and I took it with me. And it's right here in this backpack. See the oars sticking out, Oru Kayak. This is a folding origami style kayak. It's made out of corrugated plastic, and it's a strong, durable, rigid, foldable kayak that can be folded up to 20,000 times, opening and closing. So, you know, spoiler alert on this video, I really like this kayak. So I'm going to walk you through the installation process, the features, functions, benefits, things like that. And yeah, hopefully this is a kayak that might fit your needs. So now, I'm going to take the Oru Kayak off my shoulders, open up the case, and put it together and show you all the great features that this 12-foot kayak has. So again, it starts out with an optional backpack. You don't have to get the backpack. The oars, or the paddle, I'm sorry. The paddle is a 4-piece paddle. The blades come off to create 4 different pieces that can store inside the backpack. Once you get to your destination, if you're going to be hiking through the woods or anything like that and you want it half assembled, you can have it sticking into some pockets like I had in the back of the kayak and sticking straight up. So great to go hiking with, to get to that out of the way location that you've always wanted to kayak to, but just can't get a vehicle and drive your kayak back there. So again, you got the oars. There's my PFD, my NRS Ninja. PFD, love this life jacket. These Yeti dry bags, I usually put 2 of these down in here. I take them and I compress them. They go down, I pull them out. So, again, there's the backpack. Great comfortable straps. Here's the back that has some little pockets for your oars, your paddles to go into. If you don't get the backpack, what comes standard with the Oru is this shoulder strap. And the shoulder strap attaches to the actual kayak, which, when it's unassembled, is actually in a box. This kayak, it's only 28 pounds in weight. Now, you put the paddle in, the PFD and all that, that adds a little bit more. I think it brings it up to like 33, 34 pounds. But the kayak itself is 28 pounds. So you can still easily transport it this way if you don't want to get the backpack. You lift off the lid, and the lid, once I unbuckle it, I mean, this is ingenious. This is the floorboard of the kayak. Your seat post is actually going to lock into this channel right here. So that's the floorboard right there. Now you'll notice inside the folded kayak, there's all these little cavities that you can stuff different things. Now I'm going to pull out what we have in here. I have my seat right here. I have my seat back from my back right here. There's 2 bulkheads. This is the rear bulkhead. The forward bulkhead is inside here. It's kind of permanently attached. Then you have 6 of these rigid plastic high quality channels that bring and stitch the kayak together after you unfold it. You'll see what I mean when I put it together. Real good use of materials to actually bring this kayak together and make it watertight. So you got 6 of these. Now, the first thing I thought of when I got this kayak, or when I first saw the kayak, is that yeah, heck, this is like the boxes that they put mail in at the post office. It's a corrugated plastic, a much heavier grade corrugated plastic than what the post office uses in their mailboxes or their mail crates. They're about this big or so, but very similar to that. I was just watching on YouTube also recently how Brigham Young University has just created a Kevlar origami folding shield for peace officers that folds up about this tall in seconds. It's only 50 pounds. They can get behind it and they can shoot and be protected by the Kevlar. But again, it's the origami concept that they're using, and it's really becoming prevalent in many of the different things that are made today, because we want to make them simple and easy to use and easy to relocate, easy to store. So all I do is I unbuckle the straps at the end here, and then they have 2 dots on here. All you do is grab these 2 dots and pull it. And when I do this, I just kind of push it in, and it creates kind of like a bathtub effect. And I'm going to do that. And that's the forward bulkhead that I had mentioned earlier that comes already attached to the kayak. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this kayak together, and I'm going to kind of time lapse it to go through it quickly so you can get a good feel as to how it goes together. The first time you put one of these together, it might take you 15 or 20 minutes. This is, I've done it 4 times now. My 4th time, I'm down to 7 minutes. I imagine I'm going to be down to 5 minutes eventually. But that's unreal, to take something off your back, put it on the ground, unfold it, assemble it into an actual touring kayak that you can take out and easily explore any destination that you're at. So I'm going to time lapse this. All done, and took me 5.5 minutes. My 5th try, I'm at 5.5 minutes. That's unreal. For taking something off my back, installing it into a high-performance touring kayak, that's just unheard of. And 28 pounds. I mean, what kayak can you do this to? Unless you have like a $4,000 or $5,000 Kevlar touring kayak. So extremely light. Here's the profile. Hopefully it fits into the camera fine, but there's a side profile of the kayak. Say I'm just at the trunk of my car or my vehicle, and I just put this together and I need to walk down to the water, if I'm not already down at the water. Throw my water bottle in, take my life jacket, throw it in there, my Oru paddle, throw it in there. Normally I'm putting 2 water bottles, and then I have an extra dry bag there normally. But how often can you load it with 10 extra pounds of gear and still pick it up and still carry it efficiently to where you want to launch? I mean, this is unheard of. My 2 other touring kayaks are Jackson Journey kayaks. I love them, but they're 60 pounds base weight. When I load them with my gear, I'm at 70, 75 pounds. That's just way too heavy to just pick up and carry, 200-300 yards down to the water. These neoprene fairings on the hull of the kayak, they provide a watertight seal, which there's not going to be any water that will get into the hull here, but up here at the very top, water could get in, but that's what the neoprene is for, is to close that off. It's a watertight seal right here, so no water. I've been out 4 times now and have not had any water get in the Oru Kayak. Totally watertight. But again, the fairings also have handles that allow you to pick it up and carry it very easily. With on the bottom of the neoprene, it's like plastic coated to give it some abrasion resistance. Now I can hear it. I know what you're thinking. Cliff, I carry a little bit more than a PFD and a water bottle and 1 or 2 dry bags. Maybe I'm gonna go camping. Maybe I'm going out for the whole day and I gotta take a little cooler with me. I gotta take some lunch. I gotta take a towel and stuff like that. You're probably asking, where do you put all of this gear? So where do you put everything? Well, that's easy. When you're assembling the kayak and before you put your strips on, you store everything inside here before you bring everything together. And you can do that in the front and the back, the bow and the stern. The nice thing about this 12-foot Bay ST, it's got a 300-pound capacity. So, you know, I'm 180 pounds. If I want to load it with, you know, 25, 30 pounds of gear, I can do that easily and still be very, very safe and paddle efficiently. In the bow and along the stern, you have a tremendous amount of carrying capacity. And if you need to carry more, maybe you're saying, hey, Cliff, I'm gonna go camping. I need to carry 50, 60 pounds of gear. The Coast 16-foot kayak is more of an expeditionary type kayak or sea kayak, and it'll hold up to 400 pounds. Now, I addressed it once already, the tracking. The kayak, because of the shape of the hull and the pitch of the hull, it tracks very nicely. And what I mean by that is when you're paddling, the boat's not going left, right, it's going straight. It's going exactly where you want it to go. And another thing is when you finish paddling, say if you just want to coast a little bit, it doesn't start to veer off course and get a mind of its own. It really stays straight and tracks nicely. Now, primary and secondary stability is excellent. And what primary stability is that's the stability when you first get in the boat. Does it feel stable? You know, just initially, does it shake a lot? I mean, does it wobble a lot, and does it feel unstable? Well, if it has good primary stability, it's gonna be stable primarily in just the movements that you do normally moving around the kayak. Now, secondary stability is when you wanna edge it on its side to turn and things like that. It's gonna allow you and be very forgiving to where you can really edge it on its side without fear of water coming into the cockpit. So good primary and secondary stability. Now, why would I want to edge? Well, one thing I really noticed about this kayak that's not always possible in all touring kayaks, it's possible in many of them, is if I'm sitting in here and I lean to the right, the kayak steers to the left. If I'm sitting in here and I lean to the left, the kayak steers on its own to the right. So it's a very efficient way of steering the kayak without doing any backstrokes that would slow you down and make you more inefficient. Now, the Oru Bay ST kayak, this is a $1,599 kayak. So, you know, $1,600. The paddle's $100, the backpack is $200. So all in, you know, $1,900 will get you this kayak. So you're saying, Kayak Cliff, is it worth it? I'd say it is. You can easily spend $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,600 on a touring kayak, but is it going to be light and easy to carry over great distances like this? What if you have to portage your kayak from one lake to another? I mean, it's literally the lightest kayak that you can buy. The other thing about this kayak is that it's rated for 20,000 folding cycles. If I kept this for 20 years and used it every day, that would be probably 20,000 folding cycles if I used it every day, 365 for 20 years. So you're not going to wear out the kayak. It's got a 10-year UV resistance built into the hull. So obviously you don't need to store it outside, so UV is not really an issue, because you can fold it up and keep it in your apartment, you can keep it in your office, you can keep it in your bedroom, you can keep it in your closet. It's very easy to store. You don't have to have a special shed outside. You don't have to have special apparatus in your garage to hoist it up to the roof line. Those things cost money, and with the Oru Kayak you don't need that because you can store it very easily. Another thing that offsets the cost of this is lose the roof racks on your vehicle. You don't need a roof rack on your vehicle from Yakima or Thule or anything like that, which in and of itself can cost you $500 to $1,000. You don't need any of that with the Oru Kayak because you fold it up, and like I just said, you can store it anywhere that you want to. If you have a subcompact with a hatchback, open up the hatchback, throw 2 Oru Kayaks in, and you're off to the water. The other good thing about it is if you're an apartment dweller, you live in city, if you take a bus, if you take a taxi, if you take an Uber or a Lyft, if you take a subway, any of those transportation modes with the backpack makes it very easy for you to take this kayak. You know, you can throw this on a plane, check it to your destination, and it arrives in the backpack undisturbed. It's not like you can damage this. It's not like you're putting a high-end bicycle on and checking it on a plane or snow skis or anything like that. It's very, very forgiving, and it transports very well on the airplane. Now, if you typically travel and rent kayaks, well, I don't know about you, but when I go rent kayaks, I don't really know what I'm gonna get. I might get lucky and get something nice, or I might get a little 8 or 10 foot recreational kayak that's not efficient, and if you're used to a touring style kayak, you're not going to be happy with it. So you save on rental fees. You don't have to rent a kayak, you don't have to find a rental place, you don't have to paddle where they tell you you have to paddle. You can just check out before you get to your destination and find the places that you want to paddle and go to them with the Oru Kayak. If you decide to get an Oru Kayak, in the video here, in the description of this video, I'm going to put a special link to Oru's Amazon store, and that link will get me a little bit of a kickback from your purchase that allows me to put more money towards the videos that I do. The trail videos, the product review videos, the tips and trick videos, the camping videos. It helps me offset the cost for all the exploring and adventures that I go on. So if you don't mind, click on that link in the description box and purchase from the Oru Kayak link that I have right here. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot again. While you're out there, I always refer to it in my videos. Pick and paddle. And what I mean by that is pick up trash, take 1 garbage bag with you, throw it in the Oru cockpit, and fill it up with trash when you're out there to help get rid of all the plastic pollution that we have in our waterways, bays, and oceans. And that way we as kayakers can do our part to make the environment in the ocean a little bit cleaner. So safe paddling, Kayak Cliff out. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.